Hey yo, what's up, my beloved champions fam? It's the bad guy WWE champions, Zeke 4-0, back with a brand new video, and we got this brand new Money in the Bank Gauntlet Blitz up and live. Now, this is a equal rights, equal fights blitz. You can use your best husbandos or your best waifus in here representing NXT or SmackDown, because we have the NXT Heatwave PLE going down later on today. They went ahead and decided to run this. If you checked on the blog with the link that I provide in the video descriptions of my videos, you would know that alongside the Faction Feud two-parter and the Cash in the Heatwave LT Tour, this Blitz was coming out on Sunday. So we are going to go ahead and knock out the final three. We were able to clear out as much as we could when it came to faction milestones on individual and faction sides, and we were able to get a grand total of 15 Blitz tickets, and it's only one ticket cost to do these blitzes. So we're going to go ahead and knock out the final three. We got incredibly lucky and got the final medallions that we needed to take care of our final purchase on the medallion prize wall. If you've seen my short from earlier today, we got the underdog story plate. When you break black gems, 4+ black gems, you generate 10 random red gems. So basically you're able to spam a couple more red gems out there and get some more damage going on after you hit a black match. Now, for me personally, the person I decided to go ahead and put that on, it was none other than, well, that's a unique glitch for Charlotte Flair. That's pretty cool. I'm not even going to lie to you. The champion I decided to put the underdog story on just to test around and play with was none other than my Attitude Era technician, The Rock, Nation of the Domination. That was the guy that I decided to put it on just to play around with it, because I know that once the Juggernaut gems go off, I'm able to boost my black gem damage. Then I'm able to turn all those botch gems into black gems. And depending on how many are up, there's going to be plenty of space for some red gems to connect following that. So it was something cool. I can always move it on to somebody else later on. But for me, when it comes to my account, when it comes to ultimate place, the silver place, those are far in between on my side. So I had to take care of it. The Real American skill plate alongside the Rock's finery, the Final Boss finery, and the Uncle Slam. Those were the ones that I had available up to that point. I did not have a whole bunch of those. And looking at my bronze skill plates, I have plenty of those going around on my account. And I was like, well, time to get my other numbers up, get my other stats up. But we've been rocking these out, even with going up against modern era acrobat Asuka with Charlotte Flair. Granted, she can get her submission off from time to time, and that can make it a little bit more tedious to take care of this blitz. When it's all said and done, though, she's not standing a chance. Charlotte's going to be able to get the W's. And so that's what I've been doing to knock these out. I've been able to grab up a couple extra milestones. And what makes it even more important is, I'll show it when we get done. But this was an amazing feud weekend. The first feud with the men, the Canadian champion one. When we did that, I was able to get 100 million in the feud score. And I was just like, look, take care of it, knock it out, get it done, and just roll out into the sunset, knowing that I cleared everything out. Got all the goodies from there, all the extra tickets, all the extra medallions, so I can hit up that prize wall. Because I was either going to get that Eye of the Tiger skill plate, or I was going to go ahead and get the underdog story. And I opted for the underdog story. So it's just one of those things where I was really proud of myself. I was grateful to God that I was able to do it and take care of it and help my roster build. Now, there were some certain things that came across my mind when I was doing the video for the feud. Someone reached out to me and was like, yo, Zeke 4-0, how about doing some feud gameplay for us? Like, let's see you rock out and do some stuff. And I was like, you know what? This is actually a cool comment. And I rarely do feuds footage. Like, even back in the day, I don't even think I really did any to begin with. So when they reached out to me and they were like, hey man, like, why don't you try something different? being that a feud was already on the way, it's obviously concluded now by the time you're watching this. It was like, you know what? Why don't we put our toe in the water, test it out, and see how it does? And I have no regrets. It was fun. It's always exciting to try something different, step out, try something unique, and move forward from there. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, at least you know that you tried. So that's how I see it. And quite frankly, let the good times roll. We're here right now. But when it comes to feuding, I'll get more specific and right to the point on what I was trying to say. Obviously, I was in a rush because you can't play around with feuds. You're trying to get in and get out. But first and foremost, communication is key. Make sure that if you're in a faction, make sure that you're utilizing Line, Discord, even Messenger. Any form of communication. So whoever you're teamed up with, y'all are on the same page. I strongly believe in not line jumping, but depending on what faction you're in, it might be allowed, it might not be, because it is a speed thing. I strongly feel that if you can't finish out something, bring a couple fodder characters with you, so then you can just tag your partner and say, hey, I can't beat them. Can you take over? They'll more than likely say yes, get in, get the points, and then you can hop out the queue and get into another one. That's me personally. But number one, have key, critical, essential communication. Communication is key in this game, so you know what's going on with your lane as well as your partner's lane. Y'all can figure things out, and you don't waste time. You can just get right to the point. So for me, they're not in no specific order, but for number one, for me, communication is key. Make sure that you're in a faction that utilizes some form of communication app. That's where I'm at with that. Following that, don't go in roster heavy if you don't have the characters to clear out the content. What I'm saying is, just because you basically have 9 spots open when you really realistically look at it. The top row is normally your featured character and a bonus character. That's the one where you're going to get the most high-end bang for your buck. Then the second row, you're going to have 3. There might be a secondary feature character plus 2 additionals. Might be a certain era, might be a certain link of champions that wrestlers share, and an open space. And then finally, you'll have the bottom row that's the most useful for everybody, where you're allowed to get a couple line bonuses there as well. And normally that's 4 champions. If you have those characters for that bottom row, for those 4, take them, because you're going to get the line bonuses filled out for that, and it's going to be guaranteed that you're at least going to get a little bit of boost when it comes to the feud score. Aside from feud promoters and buying the steps to get additional war score, this is going to allow you to get a guaranteed line bonus, so you can hop in, hop out, and take care of business the way that you need to take care of business. But with that being said, just because you got those 4 spots filled, and even if you got those additional spots, like maybe you're able to put 2 more in the middle row and you could put 1 at the top, that's good and all. But if you're filling those spots with a bunch of 5-star bronze, 6-star, 5-star bronze, 5-star silvers or golds, or sprinkling a bunch of 6 stars in there, your overall is going to match you up with somebody that's that high. And they might literally only have 4 6-star golds that are all fully equipped, that are going to dust you. You're going to cost yourself time. You're going to cost yourself health packs. You're going to cost your faction mates heal tokens on a situation that could have easily been overwritten if you just played it smart. You going in heavy, understand the consequence of it. That doesn't hurt to have a couple fodder characters, low-level characters that you can kill off, get in and out, and call it a day, with a couple of high-end, high-octane, quick and easy to go heavy hitters. Play smart, not dumb. because there's no point of you jumping in the queue with this giant group and then you realize you're costing yourself valuable time, you're costing your partner valuable time, and you're pairing up with somebody that you know that you have no answer to. Because once your heavy hitter's gone, that's it. You're just sitting there camping out. So be smart and responsible with your overall when you're building your team. Just because the spots are open does not mean that you have to fill them. If it's smarter for you and quicker and efficient for you to just go ahead and do what you do and take care of things, take care of business by simply running that bottom 4 line, good, because then that's 4 opponents, maybe 4 or 5 that you have to face. You finish them, you get out, you hop into a new match, you gain more points for your roster. So that's the second testament from your boy, the bad guy. Following that, for me personally, speed is everything. Speed is everything. They may give you 30 minutes to clear out the battles. That does not mean you need to be taking 30 minutes to finish all those fights. That's utterly ridiculous. Get characters that are going to be able to get you in and out of the fight without issue. Characters who can hit heavy, have quick animations for their moves, they're going to allow you to get further. The same counts when I look at Faction Boss. Have champions that can unload a bunch of moves and spam multiple moves that deal damage within the 60 seconds. Reality-wise, if you got everything fully equipped, or if you got the max out few perks, if you got everything going for you, realistically, if you're hitting the buttons the way you're hitting the buttons and on a good note, on the good side of things, you could easily be cleared one opponent with good Wi-Fi and everything. You could easily clear out an opponent in less than 30 seconds and be on to the next opponent and then on to the next opponent. 30 to 45 seconds should be all it takes for you to clear out one opponent. A minute most, depending. There are things that come into play. Maybe you're somewhere on family vacation, you had to sneak off. Maybe you're on a break at your job. That's where priority before pleasure, prioritize, let your faction mates know, hey, I can do some things. I'm not going to be able to go in it as hard as I usually do. Let them be aware of what's going on and what's taking place. But time is essential. The greatest asset any man or woman can have in this world is time. You can make money back. You can't get time back. So you want to be smart. Communicate with your teammates. Communicate with your faction. Let them know what's going on. Go in smart with your roster build. You don't have to fill in every single slot, especially if the characters aren't fully maxed up or they're going to be a waste of space. Don't be utilizing characters that are going to make you use up valuable time when you can literally be using it to your advantage, getting in and out of queues, meaning you're getting more and more points for your faction so you can clear out milestones not only on the individual side, but also on the faction side. Time effectiveness and efficiency is truly key. And again, the whole thing about lane jumping, I'm truly against it unless you're in a faction that gives the okay. If you literally have cleared out everything, you look at your partner's opposition, the communication thing here, right? If you look at their opposition and you realize, oh snap, they got 2 6-star goals, they don't have nothing for that, you run it by them, tag them in your Discord, tag them in line, and be like, look, my guy, look, my broski, look, my siski, I'm looking at it. You're not going to make it. Tag me in. Kill off your lowest level people so they can be on standby. Tag me in. Let's get in, let's get out, and let's run the gauntlet again. So you definitely want to have that opportunity and that option. Again, some factions are different. If you're taking too long, if you're just stalling and you're not talking to nobody, that is a problem. You should have no shame, but be humble and say, hey, look, I don't have the people to take out these final 2. Can you please take them or at least attempt to? And the way this game is built upon teamwork, there are plenty of people and players that will have no problem stepping in to help you out, to alleviate you of that problem or that stress. So you don't beat up on yourself and be like, oh, I let my people down. They are there to help, but they can't do nothing if you don't say anything. So you definitely, I don't believe in lane jumping. I don't. But I also believe that there should be a form of humility when playing this game and just being realistic and saying, hey, I can't do this. I can't beat this. I can't do this alone. I need your help. So I know in my faction we don't believe in line jumping. It's also a thing. Look, don't just jump the gun. Take a moment to let the screen load up. Look where you're matched at before taking someone else's lane. Point blank. Period. Just look at what you're doing. If you know that you have a 80 overall roster, why are you going to try to fight the 300,000? It's just realistic. Because then again, now I have to wait for you to get through the first 3 matches so then I can take over and clean that up. You got to be realistic and you got to be responsible in this game, just like anything in life. Okay? So, again, for me, just for Fuse, this is just stuff from me, from my perspective. Number 1, communication is key. Better the communication, the more efficient you're going to be at coming up with battle plans depending on who you're teamed up with. Okay? Next up, be smart and responsible about how you put up your roster. Now, if you're, again, and I just want to emphasize this. Now, if you're someone who has a bunch of 6-star goals on your roster and you want to take on 6-star goals, that is absolutely fine. That is smart. I am not against that. That's more points. Like I said, time is the most valuable asset that any person can have. If you can take on all those 6-star goals, whether with props or without props, you got all the bells and whistles sorted out, you got maxed out perks, and you can get in and get out like that, taking less than 30 seconds to take care of, a 80 million plus a health pool character, then cool, do it. But also, I also see this. I feel that heavy hitters should be teamed up with other heavy hitters so that way you don't put people in an awkward spot if their roster is lower. But it's RNG on who you can go up against. There have been plenty of times where I've teamed up with somebody who was lower roster than me, and I took on a whole like 6-star golds, and they literally got hit with a bunch of fodder people like 1 stars and 2 stars. Remember when that was a thing? So that's also a thing to be considerate about your roster. If you're going heavy, understand the responsibility that comes with dealing with a top heavy roster. But if you know that you don't have all the bells and whistles, if you know that you're not the most efficient at feuding like that with your roster and your crew, take a couple fodder, take a couple heavy hitters, and make sure your heavy hitters fit into the line bonus down bottom so you can fit more of them in there. And then the other spots, use them for fodder. So in worst case scenario, you can be able to bail out, and let your partner come in and take care of things. Okay? Number 3, speed and efficiency. Like I just mentioned, 30 seconds. 30 seconds. That's where I'm looking at it. 30 seconds tops to clear out somebody. Use characters that are going to be hitting hard, especially in the 6-star gold meta. Right now, it's all about gem damage. Someone who has quick, efficient animations that are going to take up less time so you can just get in and get out. Get in, get out, get in, get out. So then you and your partner can clear things out, run everything, run that offense like crazy, and then boom, you're out of a queue, you're hopping right back into a queue. But the most important rule for me, and if I miss something, if there's something that you feel needs to be chimed in on, by all means, please. That's what my platform's for, to bring people together, to cultivate and think together, bring people enlightenment and wisdom from our experience. It's like, look, have fun. It should never feel like a job. Again, every faction's different. Some factions are cool with not caring. Some factions prioritize, balance, formation, structure, a system. But the beauty of this game is there's a faction for everybody. So what might work for my faction might not work for you. But there is a faction out there that is going to suit your needs. And that's beautiful. That's one of the beautiful things about this game. So those are literally my 4 rules when it comes to Faction Feud. Keep it simple. It is not hard for any of these. Keep things simple. Have fun. Let the game be a game. Don't let it turn into a chore or a task. And ultimately, anybody can get any of the Faction Feud promoters, just like you can get the promoters for faction balls, stipulations, showdowns. There are promoters for every situation in this game, even when it comes to currencies. So prioritize those characters because they are absolutely free. You just got to play the content that allows you to get their shards, recruit them, and then that'll also allow you to get more bang for your buck each bout and save you time when it comes to committing to that grind, whether it's bosses, showdowns, tours, or feuds. There's something in the game for you. So that's something to also look at too. But we cleared everything out for this Cash in a Heatwave LT tour. This was our last run, our last bout when it comes to the for the Money in the Bank of Blitzes. I'm grateful for that. I think this is as far as we can go. And you know what? I'm absolutely fine with it because your boy went hard on the 6-star Spangled Banner, the loot pulls. I did some other pulls prior to that, okay? But I'm proud to have gotten as far as I got, and I didn't have to spend a dime. I didn't spend anything on the loot pulls or the banner. Again, Sammy's a great character. The blue gem damage, the blue move damage. He's great as a Sammy requirement. But then I'm looking at Striker Sammy, even without all the straps and plates and everything and the gear, he's still more viable. You got Conspiracy Theory Sammy out there doing his thing. Who's to say that the underdog from the underground, Sammy Acrobat, maybe he gets a rework in the future. There's a lot of representations of Sami Zayn already in the game. It's good to have a new one in here. But for me, I'm cool. I'm good. I'm straight. I made it as far as I could. And I'm thankful for that because I got real lucky. I was like, look, man, I'm not trying to really go in like that. I get my backstage passes here and there. I might dabble here and there with certain deals and offers. But we were able to by literally not even taking out Asuka, but taking out Naomi, we were able to get enough. As you can see, the underdog story's already gone. And with the 6-star Spangled Loot banner, we were able to get Tribute to the Troops as well as Eternal Vigilance. I remember in the video, I went from saying I pulled Eternal Vigilance to saying I pulled Eternal Vigilance. I was back and forth on that one. But now we have enough medallions to walk away also with the Eye of the Tiger. So that's what it's all about because, man, it's always about building your builds, doing your thing. By the grace of God, I've been able to form and create a top-notch roster in its own right. It's definitely got its cons with me not having all the promoters right now, but it gives me a long-term project to go after and pursue, especially looking at the characters that I like to use more. Those are the promoters I'm going to go after first. So I am enjoying Faction Boss. I still wish that they revamped Invasion and brought that back or give us another one. I spoke before about doing like a challenge tower maybe. If you have factions, you can do a round and a level of difficulty of your choice, normal, hard, and hell. They could even make an Armageddon mode if they wanted to. And you go up against each member of the faction, of a different faction, from D-Generation X to the Four Horsemen, to the Heart Foundation, to Evolution. There are a lot of great factions within the game, and you can literally have each level clear be different matches with different versions of that character. So different versions of Bret Hart, different versions of Triple H, different versions of Batista, Ric Flair. The possibilities are endless in this game. And the same thing for an idea of a challenge mode of going up against the different timeline versions of different wrestlers, from John Cena, Triple H, The Rock, Undertaker, characters who have been able to revitalize their careers by evolving and changing. A great example of a wrestler in real life who's done that to a T is Chris Jericho. Obviously, he's no longer a part of WWE, but just so you can get the gist of that, going up at different versions. And you can even have the open ability to make character versions of characters that aren't even in the game yet. You can get a little, I guess, a little taste, a little hint of what's to come, a possibility, by releasing a version of a character that hasn't even been seen before. So that's something to also look at, you know? It's there. There is the possibility there, but things are always going to be subject to change. But as you can see, talking about change is a good thing, y'all, because we went from League 22 to League 23 this weekend, thanks to doing faction feuds. And we've already gotten started on the grind, y'all. We did some feuds. We're getting up there. We're going to knock out that 400. It's going to come easy because I love my feuds. LT tours are a given, like no joke. That is an easy one to clear out. You can just spam, like literally when the kickoff tour comes up and you're doing those points and stuff, boom, there goes your 600 matches right there. Easy clap. That's a W. Leveling up characters, resources are a thing. As you can see, my resources fluctuate from time to time. 1 minute I'm over a billion, 1 minute I'm down. Because I like to work on characters. I know I got a broski, a brother of mine, and I don't mind sharing his name. He goes by the name of Owen. He hits me up on Discord, and this man knows how to stockpile his resources, but he also makes his moves count when it comes to his account. Me, on the other hand, there's times where I'm down to hoard, and there's other times like, oh snap, I just pulled EO Sky. Yes, no questions asked. But to get to League 23 and to already have certain moves already being put in, I am grateful that I'm there, and I'm looking forward to getting the League 24. I saw the broski Sir Zorro achieved everything to get the League 24. So I'm excited because if he can do it, I can do it. And if I can do it, you can do it. So let's just do it. No Nike. So we got there. And of course, the reason why my coins are up right now the way they are is because, of course, with League 23, when you unlock it, you are able to go and partake in the Backlash Tour. So it is exciting. Now, I was able to clear out a lot of it. And then I got stuck here because I don't have Acrobat Rhea. I don't have Bianca. I don't have this Becky. I don't have Sensational Sherry, y'all. The only legend female that I have is Wendy Richter. I'm not getting nowhere with that. Nowhere at all. So I'm not even going to attempt. And the Muscle Man is waiting for me at the end of the tunnel? No. And then the same goes for the hard mode. It's crazy how far I was able to get with hell mode, but then hard mode I'm stumped on. I 3-starred everything in normal mode, but then I get here for techs, for tech characters. Again, I don't have that Becky. I don't have Nikita Lyons. I did just get Bailey, but that's a long-term thing. I can always come back and try later on, right? And of course, I'm looking at this as I'm holding out until I get Charlotte, because I'm literally a couple of hundred shards off of her, and it's looking like we will be able to get more shard drops of those previous MLC characters in future new, more recent MLCs. So that's how I'm looking at it like that. I will patiently wait. I've screwed up patiently. I will patiently wait to get Charlotte Flair, take her to the moon, because having her and Miz on my squad, especially with his moment, that's definitely going to be a power move. But right now, I'm just stuck right there, and I'm not going to use props. I'm not going to go ahead and get a bunch of cash that goes there, because there's a lot of things I have to do to overhaul my account. But that option, I know that if we're doing like a Backlash tour, they're going down the line now. You know, we got SummerSlam, we got Superstar, but we got Royal Rumble, we got Superstars, we got SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Backlash. So who's to say that we don't end up getting a New Year's Revolution tour, or who's to say we don't get a WrestleMania tour? That's another thing of content that can keep on coming out with these leagues that give you more reason, because the resource drops were insane in the membrane. Not only the league up rewards, but the resources that are inside of here that you don't even have to touch. You can just keep these on ice until you feel the need to be like, okay, I'm getting pretty low, I'll clear out the tour. That's how you use the game to your advantage, okay? So we got the Backlash tour. We cleared out some of it. Hard mode is waiting, and hell mode, the completion of hell mode is waiting. But if I can make it, you can make it. Free to play or whale, there's a strategy for everyone. And you already know, we got a new talent up that's about to be going down. So I'm just going to fill you in on a couple moves so you know what to look forward to with the upcoming video. Hey, my broski Ethan, what's happening, my guy? Well, first and foremost, we're going to have our first 6-star gold acrobat in the entire game being none other than EO Sky. with the drops that I was able to get from the league up rewards and everything, I'm just going to pump everything into her to take her up to 6-star gold in one fall swoop in the talent up. My talent up either is going to be real short, sweet, and brief. It might just be a little long because I'm going to do like the moves and the levels. But other than that, it might literally only be a couple power moves, because we did go ahead and we did, I believe it was the Star Spangled, the Star 6-star Star Spangled Banner loot conclusion with everything with the money in the Zank. They did have some offers up that were like $10 US to get the star fragments. So I went ahead and got those. I'm going to fill out the star on my boy Final Boss Rock, because with that star filled in, everything goes up and jumps up to another level. And he's going to be hitting even harder with that strap on him and with the baddest jacket. So that's one move that's going to be going down. Another one that's going to be going down, aside from EO going up to 6-star gold, we're going to take and fill in the star for our girl Charlotte, because she's been putting in work for us. So we're going to take that up, increase that health pool. She's going to be over 60 million there, and her gems are just going to be absolutely phenomenal, no matter what we hit and no matter what we connect. And again, this Charlotte has got all the bells and whistles when it pertains to her gear, but I still don't have a strap. I cannot wait to pull that 100% gem damage strap. I'm calling it. I'm speaking it into existence. That is what we're looking for Charlotte. And with the new moves and the requirements and missions, with all these shards here, I can max those out. 2 birds, 1 stone. Use it during the talent up. Max out the rest of her moves with these shards and still be sitting on some in case or when 7 stars pull up. So she's going to get a star fill as well. Then when it comes down here, we're going to work on my guy, Finn Balor. We're going to work on him. We got some TP. We're going to take care of the ladies first, because I already got Vader up. So we got a chaotic female with EO. We'll have a chaotic male in Finn. So he is someone that is also going to go up. I enjoy his gameplay. Someone reminded me of the triple purple build. We will run that all in due time. But he is someone, whether now or later on, he will be a 6-star gold. He will be, because there's plenty of 6-star gold tokens in the Backlash tour. So that was able to fill in the spaces of where everyone's going to be going up. Then following him, someone else that pops up that's going to come to mind. It's going to be a subtle move for them, but I am going to fill in the star of Liv, Oblivion, because I do want to take her up too. I do want to take her up as well. The only downside is the shards. The shards are the thing that's killer. We got the resources to take her up, but just look at the amount of shards we got. It's not going to work right now. So she will go up in time, but it's just not right now. But we will be taking up and finishing everything off with her. She's the one that's more than likely going to help me max out this talent up so I don't make as many moves as expected. Just got to pump in the last bit of a coin into her to take care of her. And as you can see, for the longest time, I was running her triple red. I run a triple red with, and they're not even maxed out yet. You know, so when I do that, it's going to be a blow. It's going to hurt. But I got plenty of yellow and green to max her out, to get her all the way up. And I got enough to get her reds maxed out. So then I can go and take her to 6-star gold. And she will be my defensive waifu. And I love Liv, because I can either do the match where I can literally do the matchup where I'm doing the botch gems and cycling all the red. Or I can do the red and yellow and be just dropping insane yellow damage. I do not have a strap on her yet, but the one that does seem to work for her, it's either I'm larger than life or General's Orders. So I think it's General's Orders that allows you to break the red and you get your yellow. So that's what's going to be going on with her. Aside from that, a prospect of mine that I would like to work on and take up moving forward, just because the boy Merrick speaks about him a lot, is Wesley. I don't have the NXT moment. I don't have that moment yet. But now that I'm looking into him, and after taking up someone like Charlotte, and even Final Boss Rock, looking at The Miz. Some of the characters that you're able to get for free are definitely worth investing in. I'm still looking at Shotzi. Shotzi can easily go up to 6-star gold for me. Wesley is definitely going to go up because that's an acrobat male, another chaotic rep. And on top of that, that's an NXT requirement for the male side of things too. So there's always something to work on. My girl Stacy Keibler, we got the shards for her. We have the shards. We have the fuse up for her to fill in the star. We have the moment. We have a lot of the things to help her get her straight and take her up to 6-star gold for Attitude Era coverage. And I'm a fan of her. I look forward to it with the Viper plate on her. It's OP. It's done. But then just to show, like, I only got a couple. I got 76 of these. 76 of these bronze plates right here. Got a couple duplicates and some one-of-a-kinds. But let's check this one out. I think it is. Yup, you break red, you get yellow. So that's what's going to go on Live. But we got blessed with some amazing drops. We got a couple bad attitudes. I remember when I was hunting up and down for 2 words for you. I remember that. And I remember going all in for this plate when Undertaker Hall of Fame came out. Every plate has a story. I'm grateful for this one. I originally had this on Dom, Zombie Dom, but then I wanted to try out Vintage Glamour on him. And Vintage Glamour is good. I mean, it does help him cycle because when you break all those greens, you're getting when you break all the green, you're able to cycle out the yellow moves again, so you can get everything in full effect. But it is a thing where it does you can tell the difference between if you had the all heart on him and when you have the cycle. So it comes down to your choice. Do you want to hit like a freight and put them down, one and done? Or do you want the ability to constantly cycle and be able to get that sub off and get everything set up again? So it all comes down to play style and preference. But we were able to get a couple of the baddest jackets. One on Final Boss Rock, one on Acolyte Bradshaw, and of course one on Nation of Domination Rock. We got the Godfather's Mojo, of course, on the Godfather. Still to this day, one of, if not still, the best farmer in the game. Turn 1 and done. It's over with. They had an offer with the Booyakah plate. It found its way on Mankind. We got blessed with the Gremlins ears 2 times over. Got one on Grayson Waller, as well as my man Muhammad Ali. So we're going to be hunting for that moment. But then when it comes to my silver ones, I don't have that much. I literally don't have that much. Like I said, we got the Underdog story on Tech Rock. We had a Real American on Hall of Fame Taker. We got the General's Hand on the Broski with Acolyte Bradshaw. We have the Finery, the Final Boss Finery on Rock, and then we even had this one, Defensive Stance Green. Those are the ones that we have in use. But then still, one Uncle Slam and another Real American. So you're always wanting to look at your roster and build up and prosper. There's a lot of things going on with that Eye of the Tiger's plate. There's a lot of characters on here, such as this man right here, especially with this moment on him. If I am able to get that gear, if I get that gear for him, he's going to be a nut. He's going after Liv, probably going to take up Hogan. Because there's always going to be a Hogan. There's always going to be a Hogan requirement. I enjoy his moveset. I enjoy his build. He's fun. And Hogan is synonymous with wrestling, one way or the other. But there's only going to be a handful of moves that I make for this upcoming talent up, y'all. Definitely want to get into some shenanigans with Tech Gunther. Literally pulled him off a single pull off the guaranteed 6-star gold loop. So I was happy about that. The Imperium moment, might have to double back for that. You saw Ludwig Kaiser up top. But you always want to find something to work on and just stay dedicated. Again, working on my showdown and my showdown promoters. Missing one, but we can get them. Same thing, stipulation tours. Got a couple, build them up. Then we have the others. Greatness takes time. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day, but it sure as heck burned in one. So we're just going to keep on working. We're going to have to get some cash up and expand when it comes to the straps and the metals inventory. So that's going to be something that has to be done. And of course, we just go after some other moments. There's some good moments that we got. There's some that we're missing out on that are inactive because we don't have enough superstars. And then there's ones that are going to come around at a different time, or we just got to get blessed with those few domination chests. We can pull a couple of them that we don't have and call it a day. But with that being said, y'all, that is the video. We cleared out the Blitz, showcased a couple of things, a couple moves that were being made on this roster. And I can't thank God enough for this opportunity of this game. I can't thank y'all enough for showing love and supporting me. I love every single one of y'all. And just know that regardless of what moves you make, I'm here for you. If you need a question answered, I'll answer it the best I can. If I don't have the answer, I will point you in the right direction. I have no problem sharing links to other great content creators who got more in-depth touches on things than I. But at the same time, I'm grateful for the opportunity to be a part of y'all lives and being able to share my experiences with each and every single one of you. And that's what the beauty of this community. So again, we were able to get enough medallions. We're going to grab that Eye of the Tiger skill plate. We're done with this MLC. Ladders to Riches are going to be concluding soon. Make sure to clear out your prize balls. Make sure to do your guaranteed 6-star loot. Hopefully you were able to do everything you need to do. And now you're gearing up for the next MLC that's going to launch. We will do a blog review on that. There will be a talent up video for that. And we're just going to have a ball. We're just going to talk champions and have a great time. If you're going to check out the NXT Heatwave PLE, chop it up in the comments below. Who you think's going to win? Who you think's going to be the biggest winners or losers tonight? And again, Money in the Bank has concluded. How'd y'all feel about Punk showing up and doing what he did? Your thoughts on the Bloodline versus Cody, Randy, and Kevin match? There was a lot of good shenanigans that went throughout this PLE that just came to pass. And we get to live another day and play WWE champions. So with that being said, y'all, hey, yo, hard work pays off. Dreams come true. Bad times don't last, but champions do. Mad love to each and every single one of you, of my beloved champions fam. Mad respect to you all as well. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel so you can be up to date on all the moves made by yours truly, the bad guy of WWE champions, Zeke 4-0, the most electrifying content creator in WWE champions entertainment. And until next time, y'all, love you all, respect you all, stay blessed. Stay tuned. Peace.